Hello and welcome to your 10th video tutorial for C++ programming language. And till now we were actually revising things, but now we are going to start with something new. And that something new is called functions. So what are functions? Functions are basically a piece of code written separately from which is separated from your program. For example, I can have a function to add two numbers, subtract two numbers, calculation of two numbers. Function can do simple jobs such as printing, or it can do a complex job such as calculating the factorial of a number. For example, let us assume that I am building a program which actually takes out the value of NCR. For those of you who don't know, NCR is actually equal to n factorial over r factorial times n minus r factorial, right? So I have to take out three different factorials, n factorial, r factorial, and n minus r factorial. And so I can have two integers n and r. I can tell the user enter n. I can take in the input of n. I can now tell the user enter r. I can take in the input r. Now if n is less than r, print on the screen invalid input and just don't execute the remaining program because it will be pretty much worthless. So now this thing is called in fact exception handling. Condition in which your program is meaningless because the base logic is defined has to be put in as an exception. This is an exception. N is less than R. It should not happen. It's not normal. So now I will print out N C R is it as 50 or something for now. So this will work perfectly fine. And let us say that I actually have stored it in a variable NCR where we know that NCR has to return an integer. So NCR. So after in here, I can make a loop to calculate factorial of n. I can make the same loop to calculate factorial of r. I can make the same loop to calculate factorial of n minus r. But no, what I'll say is NCR is equal to factorial of n over factorial of r factorial of n minus r. But it doesn't know what this f means. And actually I have to tell it that there's a multiplication in here. So I'm saying f is a function of integer type, which means when we say f of n, this will be an integer f, and in here I want an integer to come in. N is an integer. Okay, I'll calculate f for an integer, and f will again be an integer. So I'll write here again int f integer, and for the processing part I'll call that integer n, and in here I have an integer f which is equal to 1. I have that value of n, and you all know for int I equals to 2, I is less than equal to n plus I, f into equals I, and return f means that when I say this f of n, it should have this number f as its value. After processing all this, whatever is the value of f, that should be the value of this thing f of n. This is absolutely functional code. Enter n, 5, 2, 5c2 is 10, absolutely right. Okay. In fact, I can even name, you all know NCR is an integer, so int NCR, which takes an integer and another integer, int NCR, which takes an integer n and an integer r. Now this one, this declaration has to match the one above. This is important for a function to run properly. Just return nothing but f of n upon f of r times f of n minus r. So I'll work with this NCR thing now. Not needed. NCR n and r. Okay. Enter n. 6 r 3. 63 is 20. That's right. And this just is okay. When it we understand this code, okay. When it reaches this NCR, what it says is, I know what NCR is. Here it is. And this is n and this is r, this is n and this is r. It has to return f of n, which is this thing will mean f of n upon f of r into f of n minus r. So what is f of n? So here I know what f is. See f. Okay, f. F, it has an integer n, and see, blah blah blah. I process all this, and f, this is f of n. And in case of n, when I pass it r, this is f of r, and it calculates, it brings it there, and there you go. That's all I have to say for calling this. Actually, this is called calling a function. This is called defining a function, like what the function is supposed to do. And this is called prototyping a function. We're just telling a compiler that such a function will exist. We will be explaining what it does later. But for now, if I say find out f of something which is an integer, just don't panic. I have explained it later. Because compiler is line by line, otherwise we start panicking. So that's all for this video. We did the basics of functions. In function, you can do anything. You can print something. You can do this. You can do that. And in case you don't want to return something, there's a record for it. Where this statement can be omitted. And in case you just want to exit in the between, this can also be used there. Okay. So thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel to stay updated. We'll be posting another video also. Thank you.